Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are going to be talking about ADHD and intense emotions. So a lot of you guys will know that I have spoken quite openly about how ADHD has had a negative impact on my family and how it has really had a negative impact on the relationships that I've been able to kind of build with friendships and with my siblings. So my parents have said quite openly, and you know, I've spoken about it before, that they felt like they always had to walk on eggshells when they were, like, when I was growing up, when, you know, when my ADHD was undiagnosed, they really did feel that they had to really be careful what they kind of said, how they said it, because my moods would just swing like a pendulum. So for today's video, I want to discuss why this could happen and how ADHD can kind of have a negative impact on emotions. But first, if you could smash me a big thumbs up down below and subscribe to my YouTube channel, I will forever be grateful. So yeah, let's get on to the video. So a lot of us ADHDers, our struggles with emotions and our challenges with emotions usually start in our brain, and that is because some of our kind of connective pathways, they are a little bit limited. Not all of them are connected the right or the normal way, or they're not connected the way neurotypical brains are wired. Our brains are just wired differently, and some of our emotional connectivities in our brain, they are just a little bit different, and sometimes that can just make us more irrational and reactive more to different emotions, and we feel them more intensely. That being said, that does not mean that we are bad people. You know, this video is not about that. I am literally just here telling you why some of us ADHDers may feel emotions so much more intensely. Some of us ADHDers will experience like sudden mood kind of changes, sudden emotional outbursts, and this can really impact on, you know, relationships, friendships, family dynamics. It can really make other people kind of feel uncomfortable, but not only that, it can make the ADHD themselves feel very isolated and very self-conscious. They don't know how to express their emotion, we don't know how to communicate our emotions, and when we see it negatively impact and have a negative impact on our friends or our family or our siblings, it can really make us feel like, oh, people are better off without me. We feel more like a burden and more like we're making people upset when we're with them, and it can really make us feel like we're not good people. So another huge thing is that us ADHDers can really get caught up in how we are feeling, and we then act on how we are feeling without thinking through the consequences. Because of how impulsive we are, a lot of us ADHDers, like I just said, we act on impulse. We don't think about things like rationally. We literally do just go like fly off the handle. We take what we feel and we react on that. So it's really hard for us to be able to like take ourselves away from a situation and think rationally about, like, do I need to act like this? How can I approach someone? To us, it's like we run with the feeling. So if we're feeling angry, that is it. We're gonna like scream, shout, and we're gonna tell you how we feel. If we're happy, we're gonna be excited, we're gonna be hyper, we're gonna be jumping, and we're just gonna be wah! And our voices will get louder and louder. The thing is, not everyone understands that. It doesn't just mean that we feel negative emotions in like intensely. We feel happy emotions, you know, excited emotions just as intensely as we would negative ones. So people need to understand that there isn't a balance between, oh, how come you can be happy and not be overly happy, but then you're really angry. The thing is, it doesn't work like that. There are no like, well, we don't pick and choose how we feel. This is just us. We can't change and we cannot choose how we want to feel, like how we're going to react, because some of us are so impulsive that we don't have the time to stop and think, then act. It's really difficult to try and get that balance. So yeah, sometimes we don't think through the consequences because we act so impulsively on our emotions, because they're so intense. It's like they flood us and we're blindsided by those emotions. It's like the only thing we can think about is that emotion, how we are feeling, and we act on that feeling. Some of us will feel our emotions so intensely that, like I said, we will go and act impulsively on those kind of feelings, and we do later regret that. We are empathetic. We don't ever set ourselves out, you know, to go hurt other people, to upset other people. We are just flooded and like blindsided by these emotions that we are just like over, you know, we lose all control, and we can't like take control of our brain until we react the way that we feel is fit in that, you know, precise moment in time. And it's really difficult to try and understand that from an ADHD's point of view, because unless you feel the way we do, it's really hard to justify it to anyone else, because you feel like you're kind of like making excuses for these bad emotions and how you react. But we can't help it. And I just want to get out there that we aren't bad people. These emotions that we feel, they are valid. Like, our experiences, our feelings are valid. We are entitled to feel emotion. Yes, sometimes we overreact and we act too fast, and, you know, things just get out of control. But the thing is, we can't help that. We need someone who is going to stick by us and help us, you know, help talk us down when they can see that we're getting like, you know, ramped up, or we're getting anxious or overly like overwhelmed. We need someone who is going to be there for us through thick and thin, not only there when they think, oh, that this kid, you know, Molly's going to have such a fun time, I want to be a part of that. Oh no, she's not, I don't want to be a part of that. We need someone who isn't going to pick and choose when they want to be with us, you know, dependent on our mood. We need someone there that is literally going to stick by us regardless. I've spoken about this before quite a lot of times, but rejection sensitivity dysphoria. So, not sensitivity, sensitive dysphoria. So this is something that a lot of ADHDers will experience. Not everyone, but a lot of ADHDers will. And this is because we go through life being criticised for being who we are. You know, we're told that we don't try hard enough, or that we're being too much, or we're not doing enough, and you know, everything that we do, we are criticised for. And that is a fact. This is not me being over dramatic. That is a fact. You know, at school, we're criticised for not sitting still, but actually not sitting still helps stimulate us, helps us focus. But because it's not part of the way that neurotypicals do it, it's seen as we're not doing what we're told, or, you know, being too talkative. But actually that's very stimulating. That is actually something that helps us process how we're feeling or what we're doing. A lot of our behaviours are seen as abnormal because they're not what neurotypicals do. So we are brought up, we are like taught that what we do is wrong, and we need to change how we are because we're not trying hard enough, or we're not good enough. We're not like those people. Why can't we sit still like that student? We are literally taught that from such a young age, and, you know, of course we're going to grow up believing that we're not good enough. Like, that's just obvious. So a lot of us ADHDers, when we start to feel that we're being rejected, that we're being judged, we're being criticised, we can literally be flooded with absolute hate. You know, and it's not for other people, it's more about ourselves. You know, we get angry because why am I not doing that? Why am I not doing this? Why is that person saying that when I'm trying my hardest? You know, all these feelings and shame and guilt and just absolute embarrassment and not feeling good enough, self confidence issues, all of this comes into play, and our absolute fear of being rejected and anxiety of being rejected just all collides, and bam, we will negatively react, because that is how we're going to cope with the situation. A lot of our issues, right, like I said at the very beginning, they start in our brain. A lot of our challenges emotionally start in our brain. And that is because some of us, and most of us ADHDers, I'm not going to say all, because like I say, I can't prove that it's all, but the majority of us ADHDers, we kind of lack and really struggle with a mental set of skills called executive function skills. So a lot of us really struggle with those set of mental skills, and these set of skills happen to be a pretty important set of skills, and a lot of us ADHDers kind of lack those skills. And these skills are the sort of ones that would help us with our emotions, help us with processing emotions. These are the ones that can help us like keep and maintain a perspective of things. So when you think about it, we are actually at a little bit more of a disadvantage, because they're such an important set of mental skills, and it just happens so that we kind of lack them. The majority of us lack them. We really struggle with them. And it's just like, there's such an important bunch of skills, like why are we the ones that have to like suffer? But anyway, we do. A lot of us do not have these skills, and we do not have the, you know, we not do not have them, but we struggle with them. They're not ones that naturally, you know, come in natural to us, right? So I really hope this video has been able to educate you and maybe just give you some knowledge on maybe why your child may react to your tone of voice, or when you know, when you criticize them, or anything like that, like, or why your partner or your sibling, or why you do it yourself. I hope this video has been able to give you some insight into why that could be. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you've enjoyed it and you've learned something from it, and yeah, whatever else. So I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!